Before I start, I'd like to acknowledge the burger cupcakes I made in 2014, 10 years back. Hi guys, let's make a burger cake today. I'm gonna start with putting some buttercream on the cake board. Add the cake, fill it up with buttercream inside. You just need 2 layers of cake. You flatten that buttercream. Then you add the layer of cake on top. You can keep the dome. You don't need to cut the dome. But I'm gonna cut the bottom. I'm just gonna round the edges. The reason I'm doing this is because I need to have some space. If this is the top bun of the burger, I need to have some space for the patty, for the illusion of the patty. That's why I'm cutting the bottom edge of the cake round. The cake round is frozen. It's not hard, it's just frozen. I like using frozen cakes because it's easier to manage. I'm gonna take that inner edge off as well. I don't want to reduce the height, I just want to make the base of the top bun narrower. Okay, I'm not gonna cut the dome off. I like the dome because it helps it look like a pizza bun. Keep a paper towel so that you can collect all the crumbs and directly put them in the garbage instead of cleaning the table again and again. Time to take some fondant, but wait, before that we have some ganache over here. I like making this ganache with just chocolate and water. I don't use cream for this, it's just chocolate and water. I mix it around. For this we use pure chocolate. I don't use compound chocolate, it's 100% pure chocolate. I use over 50% cocoa chocolate, dark chocolate. You put it over the cake and you smoothen it. This is going to be an underbase for the fondant. You can use buttercream as an underbase as well, but I don't like using buttercream because it makes everything very greasy and it does not set hard, and I don't like that. So I use fondant. The cake is cold, so the fondant is going to set faster. So we have to work a little bit faster. You don't have to be perfect with it. You just have to cover the cake and maintain the shape. You have to give it a dome shape on top, and the sides have to be covered with fondant. Try and keep it as smooth as possible. The main thing is that the top has to be nice and smooth. Over here we are quickly covering the cake. Cover the buttercream inside as well. Don't worry about the cake. Everything is gonna start looking like a burger. Don't worry about it, okay? Just follow the steps one after the other. So first we layer the cake with buttercream in the middle. We make some space for the patty. So we round the edges of the cake dome of the top one. And then we set that aside. Now we take some fondant, just clean the table up a little bit. Take your fondant, sprinkle some cornstarch on the table, make it into a nice dome. Then you put some cornstarch on the table. I like having it in this shaker bottle, makes it easier. You don't have to touch it, you can just add as much as you want. Don't keep the fondant too thick, guys. Make sure it's nice and thin, not super thin, but maybe like 2 to 3 millimeters thickness, but make sure it's nice and even and it's not sticky on any of the sides. Keep rolling it until your desired diameter has been achieved. Three. Just put it on over the rolling pin, so that makes it easier for you to lift the fondant. Okay, now you get your cake and you just drape the cake with the fondant. Now you have to adhere the fondant to the cake, so you pull and stick, pull and stick. Take out all the creases. Fondant is very easy to use, so if it's stretchy as well. Don't worry if there are any cracks or if the cake is visible. You cut off the rest because fondant is heavy, so if it's not falling properly, you have to cut off the rest so that it doesn't weigh it down. Okay, you stick the fondant to your cake, cut off the rest, take it off. Don't worry if you have some wrinkles on the side. This step is not perfect. The whole reason why we are covering the cake with the fondant is, one, we need to cover it, and second, we need the smooth base for everything to sit on. So don't worry about it at all. Okay, while I'm pushing it in, I feel like there's something is missing. I'm just cleaning the cake. I'm just cleaning the chocolate because I don't want the board to have I don't want a lot of chocolate to be visible on the board. Now that's my fondant covered cake. Does not look like a burger yet, but let's just wait and watch. I'm using an airbrush to color it. I don't think this airbrush is working. Let's tackle this burger cake. It's my second day I'm at it. I took a day's break and I'm back at coloring it. For coloring this, I'm using a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange and a little bit of white. I'm mixing it all in and then I'm going over the top bun of the burger. Make sure you cover all the sides, cover the middle as well. Oops, I think my color is empty. Okay, coloring the bottom bun now. Don't worry if the old colors are visible. Don't worry, it's all gonna work out. If you guys don't have an airbrush, you guys can try hand painting it, but you get a great effect if you use an airbrush. I'm just trying my color. Before changing colors, I'm just gonna try it out on a piece of paper. I'm using a darker color, so I'm not using dark brown directly. I'm just using some orange and purple. No black, no dark brown, because we have to maintain the colors of the burger. I'm using the same color at the bottom of the cake as well to give it a deeper illusion that it's like a shadow. Now I use the same brown color and I'm coloring the fondant with it. If you feel that the fondant is sticky, add some cellulose powder to it so that it's easier to work with, and I'm adding some more brown color to it. Because of the color, sometimes it gets sticky, so we can add some cornstarch to the table and knead it well. Now I'm rolling it into a log. For this part, I don't want my tool to stick, so I'm just adding some cornstarch and coating the fondant rope in it. I'm just going to use a regular tweezer now. I use this tweezer to put sprinkles on cakes and stuff. So this is a food tweezer, don't worry about it. And I'm just poking some holes in the brown fondant. You don't, this step does not have to be perfect. You can just be rough with it Just poke holes and smoothen and flatten it. Poke holes and flatten it so that you don't see the holes, but you see that there were dents over there once upon a time. Okay, even if the fondant breaks, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, now you put it in the middle of the cake and to make it into a patty. The same way you go all around the cake and finish the patty. Make some more, keep going around. Blend it all in with some more holes. Don't worry if the color is not what we are looking for. Everything can be fixed. But now it looks like a burger. It's starting to look like a burger. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna start pushing. Make some more texture. Let me show it to you guys. Give you a closer look of it. Just adding some more texture to it. Now next I'm just going to push the edge inside the burger bun, because it has to look like it's coming from inside. It's emerging. The burger bun is over the patty, and I'm gonna use a darker shade of brown to color that crevice so that it looks like the patty is inside and it gives a shadow to it. Same thing with the same thing, I'm gonna color the patty as well and color the lower border. Now I'm taking some more fondant, add a little bit of green to it. Now this green is too bright. I add a little bit of yellow and a little white to it. I don't like this color, but this can act as a base. Now you take a little bit of that green and mix in some white with it. Don't mix it completely. You want it to be marbled. And then you just roll it out. Make sure that the surface is nicely, like you put cornstarch on the surface. It's not sticky, because you want this step to be really important. The fondant has to be very thin, because this is mimicking the lettuce. Now you just cut some random pieces and you place them over the lower edge. This also hides imperfections in your cake in case there are any. Now this, you have to push it under the patty so that it looks like it's coming from under the patty and it's not just placed on top. Similarly, you just cut some more pieces and put it around the burger. You can put it on the lower ledge or the above the patty or below the patty. It's up to you. You can bunch up the lettuce and then place it so that it gives it a more natural look. I think this tool is amazing. There are some other wooden tools and some other tools as well that you can use, but this is something that I had on hand, so I'm using that. So much lettuce, it doesn't even come in a real burger. Please don't forget to clean the cake boards and the turntable and stuff. When you're mixing multiple colors, please use different gloves, because you don't want one color to go on the other color. Over here I just had a phone call, I couldn't record it properly. So over here I'm making little sesame seeds and I'm just putting it on top of the cake. So you take a little ball, roll it into a sesame shape and just place it on top of the bun. You can make more sesame seeds also. I didn't make as many. Okay, now I am making Boston cream. I have Boston cream cupcakes in the front, so So I have a little bit of custard handy. I added some yellow color to it. Now mixing it. No lumps in the custard. Absolutely smooth. This yellow is too yellow for me. It'll pass for mustard, but I don't want to make mustard. Now I added some orange to it. I'm looking for this particular sauce, the cheese sauce. Now it's too bright for me, so I added some white to it to lighten the color. And I think this is the perfect color for cheese sauce. So I'm just going to add it into a bag. Take the cake. You can put it at the bottom border, lower border, wherever you want. You can put mayonnaise on top and put the cheese sauce on the bottom. It's totally up to you. I'm just using a steamer to steam the cake to give it a nice shine and to blend everything in, because what it does, it adds a little bit of moisture to the cake. So when the fondant comes in contact with moisture, it starts becoming sticky and things start blending. So I like the effect it's giving on the lettuce and the way the lettuce is stuck in. It's merging all the colors and it looks like sauce. It's time for the cheese. Just like we do the cake tips, you do it at the top border. You can go a little overboard, make like other pickles and onions and tomatoes and stuff, but like I just thought this is the look for this particular cake. You can cover some parts of it, you can cover all parts of it. It's totally up to you. There you go. Now you just use the same thing, same tweezer, and clean the border in case there is any color left from the airbrush, so that you have a clean cake. Even if you try with your fingers, it's very difficult to reach there, so you can use the tweezer to reach the depths of the cake, and that's your cake.